Have you ever heard of a book so powerful that it can transform humans into gods? Yes, a forbidden book, shrouded in mystery and power, that can completely alter your reality and elevate your consciousness to unimaginable levels. This book, known as the Book of Thoth, contains ancient secrets and occult practices that have fascinated and frightened spiritual seekers for centuries. Just mentioning it can cause a stir, as it holds such profound knowledge that many who dared to seek its secrets faced tragic fates. Just thinking about the possibility of accessing such teachings is intriguing, isn't it? But what truly makes the Book of Thoth so special is the power it offers to transcend mortal limits. Linked to the Egyptian god Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, and magic, this book is said to contain the secrets of the universe. Imagine having in your hands a guide capable of teaching you how to manipulate energy, influence the vibration around you, and transform your own consciousness. It's something that defies logic, but at the same time, promises quick and extraordinary rewards for those who have the courage to explore its mysteries. But why has this book been so pursued and feared throughout history? During the Spanish Inquisition, any attempt to find or mention the Book of Thoth could lead to severe punishments, symbolizing heresy and challenging established power. This persecution only increased the mysticism surrounding the book, consolidating its esoteric influence. Are we ready to challenge the same fears and explore the teachings that so many have tried to hide? The Book of Thoth has its roots in ancient Egypt, being intrinsically linked to the god Thoth, the deity of wisdom, writing, and magic. Thoth was considered the scribe of the gods, and his followers believed he held the secrets of the universe. The book attributed to him is said to contain teachings that transcend human understanding, offering a guide to accessing higher levels of consciousness and energy. The ancient Egyptians saw Thoth as a spiritual mentor, and his writings as a path to spiritual enlightenment. Egyptian stories and legends narrate that the Book of Thoth was written in hieroglyphs, using a code that only initiates could decipher. This manuscript was zealously guarded in temples, and only the most trusted priests had access to it. The wisdom contained in its pages ranged from ceremonial magic practices to alchemical formulas, capable of transforming physical and spiritual reality. This deep connection with spirituality and cosmic energy made the book an object of reverence and fear. The book is also associated with initiation rituals aimed at preparing priests for the spiritual journey. These rituals included deep meditations, visualizations, and breathing exercises that helped elevate consciousness. Practices like opening the pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye, were fundamental to accessing the book's spiritual content. Activating this gland was considered essential for perceiving spiritual dimensions and developing supernatural abilities. The ancient Egyptians believed that the knowledge contained in the Book of Thoth could alter the course of a person's life, guiding them on their spiritual journey. The practices taught in the book were seen as a means to harmonize personal energy with the vibrations of the universe, allowing for a greater connection with the cosmos. Practical examples of this application include meditating at sunrise, visualizing the sunlight energizing and purifying the aura, a practice that can still be adopted today to improve spiritual connection and energetic vitality. Besides the Egyptians, other cultures and esoteric traditions were profoundly influenced by the Book of Thoth. Its fame spread, and many sages and occultists throughout history sought its teachings to achieve enlightenment. This quest transcended borders and eras, evidencing the powerful influence of the book on humanity's collective consciousness. Throughout history, the Book of Thoth has been surrounded by legends and myths, many involving audacious pharaohs, ambitious sages, and spiritual seekers facing terrible consequences. One of the most famous accounts is that of Prince Neferkaptah, son of Pharaoh Ramses II, who is said to have found the book and, in trying to uncover its secrets, attracted a series of misfortunes to his family. The story goes that, upon deciphering the teachings, Neferkapta awakened spiritual forces beyond his control, leading to the deaths of all he loved. The tragedy of Prince Neferkapta serves as a warning about the dangers of seeking power without adequate spiritual preparation. According to legend, the book possessed such intense energy that only those with elevated consciousness could handle it without suffering the consequences. This tale illustrates the importance of spiritual discipline and personal purification before venturing into the realms of occult knowledge. The spiritual energy contained in the book was seen as a test of character, separating the worthy from the reckless. Similar stories permeate various cultures, always highlighting the severe consequences of possessing the Book of Thoth without proper respect and preparation. In one tale, a Greek sage discovered the book and, trying to use its teachings to gain power, ended up mad and disoriented. These accounts underline that the wisdom and practices described in the book require a high level of consciousness and spiritual balance. They serve as reminders that true power lies not just in knowledge but in the ability to use it wisely and responsibly. In addition to pharaohs and sages, the book also attracted the attention of many occultists and mystics over the centuries. Stories of possessions and obsessions are not uncommon, with individuals reporting that they were consumed by the book's energy while trying to uncover its mysteries. The practice of reading the Book of Thoth requires an elevated state of consciousness, where personal energy must be aligned with cosmic vibrations to avoid disharmony. This reinforces the idea that the pursuit of esoteric knowledge should be approached with humility and reverence. During the Spanish Inquisition, the search for the Book of Thoth became synonymous with heresy. Just mentioning the book could result in accusations of witchcraft or a pact with evil forces. The Church saw the book as a threat to its power, as its teachings challenged established doctrines. Those who dared to seek or disseminate its content faced severe punishments, often culminating in torture or execution. This dark period of history only increased the fascination with the book and its mysterious energy. The persecution intensified with the spread of rumors about the book's transformative powers. The belief that it could elevate human consciousness and alter reality made it a prime target for the Inquisition. Occultists and spiritual seekers who possessed fragments of its teachings were relentlessly hunted. In many cases, these individuals were forced to hide the book to prevent it from falling into the hands of inquisitors. The spiritual energy associated with the book was seen as a symbol of resistance against religious oppression. During this period, the practice of reading and studying the Book of Thoth had to adapt to survive. Esoteric traditions developed secret methods to preserve and transmit the knowledge contained in the book. Clandestine meetings, codes, and hidden symbols became an integral part of the culture of esoteric scholars. The spiritual energy and vibration associated with the book continued to resonate in the shadows, guiding those committed to truth and spiritual awakening. The influence of the Book of Thoth during the Inquisition was significant not only for its persecution but also for the impact it had on the formation of secret societies and esoteric traditions. Many groups, such as the Rosicrucians and the Freemasons, trace their roots to this period of persecution. They preserved and expanded the book's teachings, ensuring that its knowledge was not lost to history. The commitment to spirituality, elevated consciousness, and personal transformation that the book promoted continued to influence generations of spiritual seekers. The Book of Thoth, with its profound teachings, left an indelible mark on various cultures throughout history. Its esoteric influence permeated from ancient Greece to the European Renaissance, reaching even modern secret societies. Each of these cultures absorbed and reinterpreted the book's knowledge, adapting it to their own spiritual practices and beliefs. The wisdom contained in its pages covered areas such as astrology, alchemy, and the nature of the soul, providing a deep understanding of cosmic energy and spiritual vibration. In ancient Greece, Philosophers and mystics such as Pythagoras and Plato were deeply influenced by the concepts presented in the Book of Thoth. They integrated these teachings into their own philosophies, expanding the understanding of reality and consciousness. The Greeks saw the universe's energy as a mathematical harmony, where spiritual vibration was fundamental for connection with the divine. The practice of meditation and introspection, common in Greece, reflected the desire to achieve an elevated state of consciousness aligned with the book's teachings. During the European Renaissance, interest in occultism and esoteric practices flourished. Alchemists and magicians like Paracelsus and John Dee eagerly sought the secrets of the Book of Thoth, trying to unravel its alchemical formulas and magical rituals. They believed the book contained the keys to personal transformation and spiritual enlightenment. The mystical energy of the book influenced the art, science, and philosophy of the time, promoting an integration between spirituality and scientific knowledge. Modern secret societies, such as the Freemasons and the Rosicrucians, also trace a significant part of their esoteric wisdom to the Book of Thoth. These groups maintain traditions and rituals that reflect the book's teachings, emphasizing the importance of spiritual discipline and self-purification. The practice of internal alchemy, for instance, is one of the pillars of these traditions, promoting the transformation of consciousness and the development of supernatural abilities. The spiritual energy of the book continues to guide initiates on their journey to self-knowledge and enlightenment. The teachings of the Book of Thoth on astrology also had a lasting impact. It presented a connected universe where celestial movements directly influenced life on Earth. Astrology, seen as a sacred language, guided spiritual and earthly journeys, helping seekers understand cosmic vibrations and align their personal energies with the universe. Today, many still study these astrological traditions, seeking to understand and apply the ancient wisdom contained in the Book of Thoth. The Book of Thoth offers detailed practices for astral travel and the exploration of parallel dimensions. These practices are based on ancient Egyptian wisdom that connects an individual's spiritual energy to the vast network of universal consciousness. Astral travel is seen as a sacred skill, where the spirit can free itself from the physical body and explore other realities. For those seeking to understand and master this practice, the book serves as an essential guide, providing specific techniques to prepare for and undertake these spiritual journeys. A key component of these practices is the activation of the pineal gland, frequently referred to as the third eye. The Book of Thoth describes the pineal gland as the seat of spiritual perception and the portal to other dimensions. Meditation and visualization exercises are recommended to stimulate this gland, increasing its sensitivity and perception capacity. A practical example would be meditating with focus on the area between the eyebrows, visualizing a bright light awakening the third eye, allowing a deeper connection with cosmic energy. Astral travel is not just an esoteric practice but also a tool for spiritual growth and understanding of reality. By exploring other dimensions, the seeker can gain profound insights into their own existence and the nature of the universe. The Book of Thoth emphasizes the importance of approaching these practices with an open mind and pure heart, avoiding the dangers of reckless curiosity. Spiritual preparation is crucial, ensuring that the traveler is protected and guided by benevolent energies during their journeys. Besides astral travel, the Book of Thoth explores the idea that the pineal gland can unlock latent abilities within the individual. These abilities include clairvoyance, telepathy, and communication with spiritual entities. Constant and disciplined practice of the techniques described in the book can lead to the development of these abilities, allowing the seeker to interact with the spiritual world more consciously and controlled. The spiritual energy and vibration emanating from the pineal gland are seen as fundamental to accessing these elevated states of consciousness. The Book of Thoth is a true manual of occult practices and the development of supernatural abilities. It describes specific techniques for communicating with the dead, influencing people and animals, and manipulating the forces of nature. These teachings require rigorous spiritual discipline, as the energy needed to accomplish such feats must be carefully cultivated and directed. Those who wish to venture into these paths need a deep commitment to self-purification and consciousness elevation. Communicating with the dead, according to the book, is a practice that allows contact with spiritual entities and ancestors. This ability can be developed through specific rituals and meditations that open communication channels between the physical and spiritual worlds. A practical example would be creating a sacred space at home, where offerings and incense are used to attract and honor spirits, facilitating communication. This practice is not just about receiving messages but also about obtaining spiritual guidance and ancestral wisdom. Influencing people and animals is another ability described in the Book of Thoth, involving the use of energy and intention to shape behaviors and reactions. These techniques can be applied through visualization and the use of specific mantras. For example, before an important meeting, visualizing the desired outcome and internally repeating positive affirmations can align personal energy with the vibration needed to influence the environment and the people involved. The key is always clarity of intention and purity of purpose. Manipulating the forces of nature is perhaps one of the most challenging and impressive abilities described in the book. This includes controlling the weather and influencing plant growth. These practices require a deep respect and understanding of natural energies and their interconnections. An example would be using lunar energy for growth and transformation rituals, leveraging the moon's phases to plant intentions and visualize desired results. When correctly channeled, the moon's energy can amplify spiritual and material efforts. The Book of Thoth emphasizes that all these supernatural abilities are secondary to the journey of spiritual growth and self-purification. Disciplined practice and the quest for consciousness elevation are fundamental for anyone wishing to explore these paths. Spiritual energy and personal vibration must be in harmony with cosmic forces for these practices to be effective and safe. True transformation occurs when a balance is achieved between internal power and respect for the universe, allowing reality to be shaped according to divine will. The Book of Thoth dedicates a significant part to internal alchemy processes and personal transformation. This concept goes beyond mere metal transmutation. It involves the purification and elevation of the soul. Internal alchemy involves practices aimed at overcoming personal shadows, releasing negative energies, and spiritual growth. This process is essential for those seeking true enlightenment, as it transforms raw energy into pure consciousness, aligning with cosmic vibrations. A crucial aspect of internal alchemy is self-purification. The Book of Thoth teaches that the journey to enlightenment begins with cleansing mental, emotional, and spiritual impurities. Practices like fasting, deep meditation, and introspection are recommended to eliminate the blockages that impede the flow of spiritual energy. For example, a simple purification ritual might involve meditating in a tranquil environment, visualizing a golden light cleansing all negative energies from the body and mind, renewing consciousness. Overcoming personal shadows is another pillar of internal alchemy. Thoth teaches that each individual has hidden aspects that need to be recognized and transformed. Facing these shadow aspects with courage and compassion allows their integration, leading to a fuller and more balanced consciousness. Techniques like therapeutic writing, where fears and insecurities are put on paper, can help process and transform these energies, promoting a higher vibration and clearer consciousness. Spiritual growth, as described in the Book of Thoth, is a continuous journey of learning and evolution. It involves the constant practice of virtues such as humility, patience, and wisdom. The book suggests that reading sacred texts and reflecting on their teachings are effective ways to nourish the soul. An example would be studying Thoth's teachings at dawn, a time when the mind is more receptive and the day's energy favors the absorption of profound knowledge. Finally, internal alchemy is not just an individual process but also a contribution to the collective. Thoth teaches that personal transformation directly influences the surrounding environment, elevating the energy and consciousness of everyone nearby. The Book of Thoth also highlights the importance of ceremonial magic and the power of the spoken word, showing how these elements can influence reality. Ceremonial magic involves elaborate rituals that align the practitioner's intentions with cosmic forces. Every detail, from gestures to chants, is designed to channel spiritual energy and create a specific vibration. The conscious and deliberate use of words is fundamental in these rituals, as clear intention and correct pronunciation are crucial for the practice's success. An example of ceremonial magic described in the book is the protective energy invocation ritual. During this ritual, the practitioner creates a sacred circle, usually using salt or chalk, and chants words of power that invoke protective entities. Visualizing a shield of light around the circle helps strengthen protection, creating a barrier against negative energies. This type of practice not only elevates the environment's vibration but also protects the practitioner, reinforcing the connection with the spiritual universe. The power of the spoken word is also a central theme in the Book of Thoth. Thoth, being the god of writing and speech, emphasizes that words possess powerful energy capable of creating and transforming realities. The practice of affirming positive intentions daily, for example, is a powerful way to align personal energy with heart desires. Repeating mantras or affirmations can help reprogram the subconscious mind, increasing spiritual vibration and attracting desired realities. I am peace, I am light, I am abundance are examples of affirmations that can be used to elevate consciousness. Rituals that use the spoken word also include reading sacred texts aloud. The Book of Thoth suggests that reading specific passages at certain times of the day can amplify spiritual effects. For example, reciting a gratitude prayer at dawn can harmonize the practitioner's energy with the new day's beginning, bringing clarity and purpose. Regularly reading and reflecting on sacred texts not only strengthens the spiritual connection but also keeps the mind focused on elevated vibrations. Furthermore, ceremonial magic and the spoken word are used to manifest desires and personal goals. The Book of Thoth teaches that clarity of intention and the strength of conviction are essential for manifestation. A simple ritual might involve lighting a candle, focusing on the flame, and verbalizing the desire with faith and certainty. The energy generated by the spoken word, combined with focus and intention, creates a vibrational field that attracts desired circumstances. This practice demonstrates that the combination of ceremonial magic and well-chosen words can profoundly transform personal reality. The Book of Thoth also presents a deeply connected vision of the universe, where celestial movements directly influence life on Earth. Thoth, as the god of wisdom and writing, codified this knowledge to guide spiritual seekers. The cosmology described in the book reveals a universe where the energy and vibration of each celestial body affect human consciousness and reality. The teachings on astrology are presented as a sacred language capable of deciphering the cosmic patterns that shape our existence. According to the Book of Thoth, astrology is an essential tool for understanding the influence of stars in our lives. Each planet, star, and constellation emits a specific energy that interacts with our personal vibrations. For example, the position of Jupiter in our birth chart can indicate areas of expansion and spiritual growth. By understanding these influences, we can align our actions and intentions with cosmic cycles, making the most of the available energies for spiritual development and desire manifestation. Moreover, the Book of Thoth teaches that correctly reading horoscopes can reveal deep insights into our spiritual path. Each zodiac sign has unique characteristics that influence personality and destiny. Thoth guides practitioners to carefully study their birth charts to identify challenges and opportunities. For instance, a birth chart showing a strong influence of Saturn may indicate the need for discipline and hard work to achieve spiritual growth. Saturn's energy, when well understood, can be used to overcome obstacles and build a solid foundation for personal transformation. The book also emphasizes the importance of lunar cycles in spiritual practice. The moon, with its cyclical phases, symbolizes the natural rhythms of growth, culmination, and renewal. Practices like meditating during the full moon can amplify mental clarity and spiritual connection. Thoth suggests specific rituals for each lunar phase, helping practitioners tune their personal vibrations with lunar energy. For example, during the new moon, it is recommended to set intentions and plant seeds for new projects, taking advantage of the energy of new beginnings. The Book of Thoth also delves deeply into the tarot, a mystical tool that symbolizes the individual's spiritual journey. Each tarot card represents a step in this journey, from the naive beginning symbolized by the Fool to the realization and unity represented by the world. Thoth, as the god of wisdom, uses the tarot to teach spiritual lessons and reveal hidden truths. The hero's journey, described through the cards, is a powerful metaphor for personal transformation and consciousness elevation. The Fool, the first tarot card, represents the beginning of the spiritual journey with vibrant and curious energy. He is the seeker, ready to explore new territories without fear of the unknown. The Fool teaches us the importance of embracing uncertainty and trusting in the universe's energy. For those starting their spiritual journey, Thoth suggests meditations focused on opening the heart and mind, allowing oneself to feel the vibration of the new and unknown. This practice helps cultivate a receptive consciousness and positive energy for new experiences. As the seeker advances, they encounter the Magician, a card symbolizing the realization of inner potential and control of energies. The Magician is a master of the four elemental forces, earth, water, fire, and air, and uses their skills to manifest desired reality. Thoth teaches that, like the Magician, we all possess the power to shape our reality through clear intention and conscious use of our energy. Practical exercises include creating a personal altar with representations of the four elements, where manifestation rituals can be performed to align personal energy with desired goals. As the hero progresses, they encounter cards like the Tower, which represent challenges and abrupt transformations. The Tower symbolizes the destruction of old structures to allow the growth of new ones. Thoth reminds us that these experiences, though difficult, are essential for spiritual evolution. Practices of introspection, such as a spiritual journal, can help process these crisis moments, transforming negative energy into elevated vibration. Recognizing and accepting these changes are fundamental for continuing the journey with higher consciousness. The Hanged Man is another crucial card, symbolizing the need for sacrifice and surrender. This stage of the journey teaches the importance of letting go of control and trusting the universe's flow. Thoth suggests meditation practices that focus on surrender and acceptance, allowing the practitioner's energy to flow freely without resistance. This surrender is seen as a necessary step to achieve higher consciousness and a deeper connection with the divine. Finally, the World card represents the journey's conclusion, where the seeker achieves wholeness and unity with the cosmos. This is the stage of realization and integration, where all the learned lessons come together in complete harmony. Thoth teaches that upon reaching this stage, the individual becomes a beacon of light and wisdom, capable of guiding others in their own journeys. The practice of sharing knowledge and energy with the community is encouraged, promoting a continuous cycle of spiritual growth and collective consciousness elevation. The Book of Thoth emphasizes the importance of meditation and visualization as fundamental practices for self-exploration and consciousness expansion. Meditation is presented as a tool to calm the mind, connect with universal energy, and tune in to higher spiritual vibrations. Thoth suggests various meditation techniques that help the practitioner achieve a state of mental clarity and spiritual tranquility. These moments of inner silence are essential for strengthening the divine connection and exploring the universe's mysteries. An effective meditation practice recommended by the Book of Thoth is guided meditation, where the practitioner follows a series of instructions to visualize specific scenarios or feelings. For example, a guided meditation might lead the practitioner to imagine a sacred garden, full of light and peace, where they can meet spiritual guides or receive profound insights. The energy generated by these visualizations not only calms the mind but also elevates spiritual vibration, facilitating a deeper connection with universal consciousness. Visualization, as described in the book, is a powerful technique for manifesting desires and transforming reality. Thoth teaches that visualizing a goal with clarity and emotion can align personal energy with a desired outcome, accelerating its manifestation. A practical visualization exercise might involve sitting in a quiet place, closing the eyes, and vividly imagining what is desired, feeling the emotions associated with that achievement. Regular practice of this technique can turn thoughts into reality, shaping life according to the deepest desires. Moreover, the Book of Thoth suggests the practice of healing visualizations, where the practitioner uses their mind to direct healing energy to specific body parts or problematic life situations. For example, someone facing a health challenge might visualize a healing light enveloping the affected area, feeling the vibration of healing flowing through every cell. This technique not only promotes physical health but also balances emotional and spiritual energy, creating a state of harmony and well-being. Meditation and visualization are complementary practices that, together, can profoundly transform an individual's life. And if you want to learn a step-by-step method to achieve prosperity based on Hermetic universal laws, check out the pinned comment. Subscribe to the channel and enjoy the next video that's playing on the screen.